All right, it is 5:16. You got it going, right?
Yep.
Welcome, everybody, to our city planning night. We actually have a public hearing that we're going to take care of first. This is a public hearing for rezoning for Julia A. Motive and Steve Motive, parcels number 3430, 32-3. And this would be in the form of an ordinance form, which would go to council. So ordinance number 15, 2025. The purpose of the hearing, Josh, since Juliana isn't here, can you just explain what's going on?
Thank you, Mayor. The purpose of this rezone would be to rezone a parcel from a R1, or excuse me, from an R1 to a A1 district. There is no site address. It is parcel number 3430 32-3.
Thank you. Okay, and I should say that who's here tonight, in attendance tonight for commissioners, we have Jake Waller, Justin Behrens, who's our Director of Public Works. Henry Veliker is with us remotely. Eric Olson is absent tonight. Dan Aguski is here tonight with us, Commissioner. Angela Lesage is also with us. She's with us remotely. And then, of course, I'm Mayor Brian Smith. All right, so at this time, we'll take testimony in favor of the rezone of this property. If you'd like to give testimony in favor of the rezoning, please step up to the podium, give your name and address for the record, limit your time to 3 minutes or less. Any testimony in favor of? Any testimony in favor of? Hearing none, do we have any testimony in opposition? Any testimony in opposition? Again, please step up to the podium. Give your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Leonard Sheard, 910 Mead Drive. Is there a chance that a picture of the property can be put on the screen?
I think there was one, wasn't there, in the regular packet?
Oh, boy.
I guess what I'm saying is like a satellite photo or...
Unless you just go to Google Maps.
Yeah, just do Google Maps here. You're just gonna have to go, it's at the end of Western Avenue. So just go down past. Here, we can get it up on the screen.
I think they're probably going to
No,
put it
on
up on the
Western.
screen,
Just-
blowing it
You're
up.
close.
Bottom left of your screen.
Just up a little bit.
To the left a little bit more. No,
Way?
more west.
Yeah, go this way.
Right
Oh, yeah,
about
right.
there, yep. Yep,
Oh, other way.
just that big green area in the middle there.
Yeah, keep going down.
Going up.
You're talking the motive property, right?
It's in the upper left corner.
Here.
No.
No, I thought it was like down.
Justin, just draw it.
To the right of that.
Oh, through here. Yeah, yep.
Good.
Oh,
Can you show that?
Went back on GIS.
Let's,
Yeah.
what do you need? Go ahead, sir.
Okay, the description, I wasn't sure whether it was at the corner of Trails Right Drive and Southwestern Avenue, where exactly that piece of property was, but it looks like it's, yeah.
It's right through here.
So, yeah, it is.
Okay, Thank you.
Okay, any other testimony? Any other testimony in opposition? Again, please give your name and address.
Ron Seamers, 824 Sunridge Court.
Go ahead.
Our backyard is connected with the property. I just have a question. If this would be rezoned agriculture, how long would it stay agriculture?
So,
Would it be like if the property was sold again? Or if it ever was sold in the future, would it be sold as agriculture? Or,
so once the property is rezoned, it stays that until somebody requests to have it rezoned to something else,
okay,
if that helps you.
that helps me. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep. Any other testimony in opposition? I'm not sure those were testimony in oppositions, but they were questions. Okay. All right, hearing none, I'll declare this hearing closed at 5:22 PM. We're going to go right into our City Planning Commission meeting as soon as I can pull it up on mine. All right, welcome everybody to our regular scheduled City Planning Commission meeting. Today is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, and it's 5:23 PM. In attendance tonight, we have the members, Mayor Brian Smith as the chairperson, Alderperson Henry Veliker remotely, Justin Behrens, our Director of Public Works, Angela Lesage is remote, Dana Gusky is here with us tonight as a commissioner, and Jake Waller is also a commissioner. We do have one absent tonight, and that's Alderperson Eric Olson is not in attendance. You have an agenda in front of you. We can just handle the agenda as discussed. I think most of us know that action 4A is going to be, we're not going to act on that tonight, but we can take care of that when we get to that item. So if we could just get a motion to approve the agenda as printed, that'd be great.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Gusky, second by Waller, that we approve the agenda as printed. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. All right, we had a couple of Planning Commission minutes from our last meeting, which was held on September 3rd. We had the public hearing minutes, and then we also had the regular minutes. We would just need a motion and a second to approve those so that we can place them on file. So if I could get a motion to approve.
So moved. Approve minutes.
Second.
Motion by Waller, second by Gusky, that we approve both of those minutes of the meetings and place them on file. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, under action items, this was the rezoning of the Doddridge L. Brooks Living Trust. Ron Brooks was the applicant for them at County Road A and Eastgate Drive. This was in the form of ordinance number 08-2025. This was a carryover from our September meeting. We tabled it and we're to bring it back. In the meantime, though, Josh, you received information from Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor. Yep. So in discussions with Mr. Brooks, he has formally requested to withdraw from the consideration. At this point, he does not see it being a conversation to continue.
Okay. So this item then does not need to be acted on?
Correct. This is more or less just for your information, making sure that it is noted that he has withdrawn his application at this time.
Okay, and this will not, he withdrew it, so this will not show up again on our November meeting.
Correct.
Unless he makes a new application at some
Correct.
time. Okay, everybody understand?
Yes.
All right, let's go to the next one. This had to do with the public hearing that we just had. This is for the rezoning for the motive property. It doesn't have a site address, but it has a parcel number 34-30-32-3. And then it will have an ordinance number 15-2025. Josh, I know, working with Juliana. Juliana is on vacation, by the way, tonight, so she's not in attendance with us either tonight. So Josh is, our city administrator is handling her duties tonight too. So, Josh, you want to just go through this?
Yeah. So it is approximately 43.97 acre. It does not have a street address. It can be identified right here. She did include the mapping of it. The intent behind it is to rezone to A1, which would allow it to be utilized for growing agricultural products for resale at a local farmer's market. A small agricultural shed would be brought in to facilitate the agricultural activities. The proposed structure is a movable ag storage shed constructed on skids. The shed would be less than 350 square feet in size and able to be transported on a trailer. The shed would be used for storage of agricultural tools, machines, seeds, fertilizer, produce, and maintenance
Can you-
equipment.
Can you bring the volume up or? I'm an old guy and I can't hear as fast.
Does that help a little bit?
So,
A little bit?
thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if that helps. But yes, so although the proposed shed would not be visible to any adjoining properties, it would be of new construction and kept in good repair. She states there is currently 2 agricultural structures on the property. One is a storage shed in disrepair and will be removed. The other is a small pump house, which will be updated and would be conforming.
Okay. I'm just paging through this real quick here. Anybody have any questions or comments, commissioners, of what Josh has just presented?
Zoning that to A1, does that turn that into anything agricultural? Let's say the garden is fine this year, but 25, 26, 27, can they bring animals and like a true ag?
From my understanding, that would be correct. There could be stipulations that could be put on it, but from my understanding, that would be correct.
The zoning is currently going from residential down to ag. So it's a down zone or down zoning. I don't know what the term is.
Residential to ag, so that would be an extent down.
Yeah. And then our future use. What does this show on our future use? I believe it's
Low density.
low density
Residential.
residential. And then I'll keep rolling here. The shed, the new shed would be the primary structure. Are there any other structures that are on the property?
Not to my knowledge.
So this new shed it's a shed, not a house, but that would be considered the primary structure?
Principal. Probably.
Principal, okay.
Anybody else? I see your hand, I'm sorry. Anybody else have any questions at this time? Actually, are you Steve? Is that, yeah.
Where do
You
you
wanna-
access this from, this property?
He might be able to answer that, so,
That's southwestern,
yeah, it's on
Probably.
Western Avenue, Southwestern.
right on the
Avenue.
corner there?
Henry, you have any comments, or Angela?
Go ahead, Henry.
No, go ahead, Angela. Ladies first.
Well, I was just, since I'm not sure who just asked that question about the access to the lot. I'm familiar with that area. Isn't there a house right at the end of this street that we're
Yeah,
talking about?
There's a white house with a white fence. Is that not on
Yeah.
the property?
I mean, from the map that I'm looking at, I'm guessing that's the R1, that little square.
You gotta be-
Yeah, zoom in on that.
Okay,
That'd be one of my questions is how is the access gonna work? Because from my understanding, when I drive down there, um, there's a vacant lot that sold right on the corner, and then there's a residence right there. So my wonder would be what that access looks like.
okay, so if one of you two, or both you can, if you just step up, or you could just sit too if you want, just use a microphone. Make sure you introduce yourself and tell us what your address is, for the record, please.
Steve Motif, my address.
Yeah, please.
N4620 Blue Heron Lane, New London, Wisconsin.
All right, so did you hear Angela's question, Steve?
Yeah, does she have the packets? Because in
She
those survey maps, it clearly shows where the entrance
Oh, okay.
is.
Maybe I missed
There's
it.
a driveway there in between that vacant lot you were referencing, and then the barn and the house there. You can see up in the upper left-hand corner.
Is that where there's
Okay.
like a red no trespassing sign?
Across, and there's a
gate,
gate there. There's a
and
gate
the
there,
Road goes
down and around.
downhill
Yep.
severely. Okay.
It's really not a road, it's a two-rut
Yeah, it's a path.
path, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay,
can
thank you.
drive
That
on it.
is helpful. I always thought that was part of the residence. So, okay.
Actually, when the barn and the house were split off, there was an agreement, and I think that's in the packet too, with the city for future road. That's shown in there too, right there. That's all been recorded.
Okay.
That'd be the future road if needed for the city purposes.
Do you have another question, Angela, or comment?
Nope, that was it for now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Henry?
Yes, the shed would be the only building on the 40 acres, correct?
There's two buildings there right now.
On the 40 acres.
Yes.
You said one, though, was gonna be torn down?
Yeah, if this gets approved, then we start, we're gonna clean it up and get rid of that old one.
So if it doesn't get approved, you're gonna leave it there?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's a question for staff, I guess, Mayor. An accessory structure is an accessory structure, and that means there's got to be a principal residence on the property, right?
That's why
Or
we were
not.
told we had to rezone it, the egg.
Historically,
Okay.
you are correct there, Henry.
Okay. So if it's got the ag designation, that's just not applicable anymore.
I can't.
What's not applicable is a primary structure. Do we have, in our current A1 district, how many buildings are allowed on it? Is there square footage, maximum square footage of buildings and sheds? Do we have any good description of what is the A1 district look like? In terms of what
What is your question, Henry? Are you wondering how big a building they could put on that property? Is that your question?
Well, I think once we rezone it, then they have by right the ability to do anything from A to Z. And I don't doubt their motives and what they're describing to us, but if for some reason it's sold down the road, someone else comes in and says, oh, this would be a great place to put up a horse barn and have some horses. Right in town, very near everything. So I don't understand all the requirements of the A1 district, and I apologize.
No, that's fine.
And that's my question. I mean, you said something, Josh, about stipulations, but doesn't that get done through like a conditional use permit process? I mean, once it's zoned A1, it's whatever is allowed in there is allowed in there, correct?
Relatively, yes.
Okay.
Again, there can be stipulations under the allowance for a rezone or through a conditional use as needed.
You had some.
So we can put conditions on the rezoning.
You know, this is a situation that we have not gone through in the past. where we-
Yeah, I'm a
gone-
little confused.
Yeah, I am too, Henry, to tell you the truth. And it's too bad Juliana isn't here tonight, but everybody deserves vacation. But I can't remember if we've ever switched anything from residential to agriculture before.
Right, and the A1 district is fairly broad as we have it now, right? I don't know if staff can answer that or Josh. It's a little unfair because, you know, it's not to Juliana.
Right.
So I just, you know, and I always thought a best practice in zoning, and I don't want, you know, I always have the posture of trying to respond and fulfill people's requests to the city. But when rezoning and stuff, it's a best practice to do it more broadly if it has a broader purpose. So I'm wondering if we can't look at how our A1 district zoning looks now, and under the guise of trying to improve that and maybe limit some types of animals and that kind of thing, has a broader benefit to the whole city than just to the motives. And then maybe we can check the box. We're just not doing it as a one-off. We're looking to improve and clarify the district for all the city. And I don't know if that's good practice or not.
All right. Well, let's go back to your first question. I think Justin wants
Yes.
to respond to that.
Yep, I looked it up on our Muni code, and A1 is preserve a very low density, high quality rural setting for estate residential accommodating limited agricultural use in livestock not to exceed 1 animal unit per acre, with the principal structure accounting for 1 acre. So that's kind of the brief, but there is a table underneath of it that says agricultural structures. There is no maximum floor area. There's a maximum height of 50 feet. The principal structure, comma, single family detached, maximum floor area of 650 square feet, maximum height of 35 feet. Principal structure, 2 family, which is much bigger, 1,200 square foot. Detached garage, residential accessory structure, residential, minimum setbacks. So that's all laid out in there, so.
Okay, but that talks about a principal structure with the motives not actually doing that. So there's no principal structure. So they're not complying with the A1 zoning. Am I understanding that? If we rezoned it, they're not doing what the district requires.
In requiring a principal structure, that would be correct.
And then where my mind is going next is that still something we want citywide? You know, I'm just throwing, I just, where my mind is going on this, if we put a minimum of 10 acres and 40 acres, and you don't need a principal structure, can we clean up that A1 district description and look at our parcels around the city and, you know, maybe tighten it up and create something that the motifs can utilize, but it's just not for them, that maybe it can benefit other parcels in the city potentially. And then we can check off the box that we're just not doing this as a one-off. I mean, I don't understand the process to getting there, but other than it delays the motif's request. But we are coming up on winter, so maybe it's something we can look at.
Yeah, thanks, Henry. Before we go back to the question on the principal resident, Steve, pronounce your last name again? Is it
Motif.
Motif.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Motif.
If I pronounced it wrong, I'm sorry. When you have the last name Smith, you pronounce everything wrong. But if you want to go ahead and just tell us your thoughts or what you wanted to say.
Yeah, so with the ag and the primary, needing the primary or principal before the accessories, that, we were told that ag would not require that. If it was an agricultural structure, you wouldn't need that supporting.
Principal residence or
That's from zoning to us. That was
Yeah.
our understanding. So, I don't know if you guys are reading something different or whatever, but that's how we got here. The journey started with, we thought we were gonna do a variance request because of the size of the property and the uniqueness of it, and it's, it's not a city lot, that we wanted a variance that we could just put the shed without the primary structure. And then got 3/4 through that process, and talking to Eric, our alderman suggested we do the rezone, and I guess he talked to zoning, and Juliana said, yeah, we're gonna switch directions here and go with the rezone because of, you wouldn't need the structure and the primary structure, and we could do the ag building. That's how we got here.
yeah.
I mean, we just want this small building there to support growing some vegetables for the farmer's market. I mean, this is getting to be a big deal. It's,
It's a big deal. It's becoming a big deal for you, but it's also a big deal to us too,
I get
because
it.
we're going
yeah,
in reverse from what we would normally do
Yeah.
when you're in the city.
right.
Yeah, so, I think Henry made the comment that, we're into October now, you're not gonna be planting anything
No.
over the winter.
The problem is the building is already bought and they want it delivered.
Oh,
We didn't realize that this was gonna be the process as it was with the 44 acres there, and
yeah, so how much of that 44 acres is tillable? Do you know?
half of it, about half.
How much of it has, a forest on there, trees on there?
I'd say
Of that half
Yeah.
that's tillable?
probably a third of it, or 25% to a third, yeah.
Okay. Would you be cutting any of those down?
The trees?
Yeah,
No, we don't. Yeah, there's a few that were in the old garden areas, smaller ones that got grown in there. We were gonna cut those down just to get back the area for growing the stuff.
yeah.
That her grandpa used to do that. He grew corn and tomatoes and all that stuff. Sold it around town.
I don't know the history. You probably know the history a lot better than I do of that.
He had
property,
hogs
but
in that barn for,
Was it, if you're gonna, Steve, can you, sit by a speaker or something like?
It was my grandpa's, and it's been in our family for 100 years.
Yeah,
So he had crops on it. He had a barn. He was a feeder pig dealer. So he had animals at one time.
do you know if that property was annexed into the city?
No, it was not.
Well, it's in the
It-
city
no.
now, so was it
It's
always in the?
always been in the city.
It's always been in the
Always
city.
been in the city.
So when did it get zoned residential?
I don't, that's the major question. I have no idea. I assumed it was ag because I've never requested it to be rezoned to residential. After my grandparents passed, I inherited that property. I was completely shocked that it was residential, to be honest. I don't know why or how or when it changed.
My guess is that although you you think you were in the city of Waupaca, you were probably in one of the townships, and
Well,
somewhere
I've
along the
asked my
line it
dad,
got.
because my dad he kind of remembers the history. He
Yeah.
said, no, it's
Yeah.
always been in the city of Waupaca, and he said the line was, I think, Western Avenue. And we were in the city. The other side is that
Yeah.
the township of?
I know we're, no, this is further east from you, or maybe south that is, but where the Waupaca Bowl is, that
Yeah.
road, that was in the township, and that was annexed into the city back in the 70s, I think, when they built that bowling alley
Yeah.
there. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I
I'm just,
don't- yeah,
I'm just
I-
trying to figure out how you get from having a farm
Well,
that's,
it was a farm when I was a
Residential.
child, and I'm 62, so over 60 years ago, it was a farm, and it
Sure.
hasn't changed since then. My grandparents' parents owned that farm, so it's well over 100 years that it was farmed. And then when I inherited, I haven't done really anything with it, but I sold off the house.
And we kind of figured it was into the 80s. He was still
He was still
active
farming, yeah,
in the 80s yet.
yeah, and, yeah, I can't say whether it was annexed. The information I
I don't
have
think
been
it really
told,
matters.
it
I'm just
doesn't.
trying
I
to,
don't think it was.
I'm trying to figure
though.
out how that works. Justin has another comment here, and I have something too. but-
Yeah, so the rezone, it says lot 1 and 2. Does this just apply to lot 2, or is it both of them? Do you own the lot 1?
Lot 1 was included on this property, and I sold, was it 1 acre? The house and the barn and 1 acre around it, I sold and maintained the rest. So I think lot 1 is the house and the barn. I maintained lot 2.
Okay. And I did find, I think what Henry was alluding to about the primary versus accessory structures, if you want me to read that too.
Sure,
since
go ahead.
Juliana's gone. So accessory structures and uses, accessory structures and accessory uses are allowable in any district, but not until their principal structure is present or under construction. So,
That's how we started the process, and then thought we were gonna do a variance in R1. But for whatever reason, it was suggested we do a rezone
Rezone instead of,
I have to tell you that I think that we would feel more comfortable if it was to continue to be zoned residential.
Wouldn't bother us.
I-
Yeah,
I'd be
if you were,
fine with
if
it.
you were
I
able to
don't
do your
care.
little, yeah,
I don't care one way or the other. Really, all this is about is us wanting to put a garden shed on
sure,
that
sure,
property.
I get it. I get it, but how we go through that process, and I'm sorry that, so you haven't had direct discussion with the Community Development Department at all? You've only, have you been, who have you talked to? Have you talked to
Brian's been
Julia?
out there. I had a power supply brought in there because the existing pump house and the existing shed was powered from the barn.
Let me ask you this, have you talked to a city staff individual, Juliana? Have you talked to
Oh,
Juliana?
Email strings,
Oh, he's been talking to me.
many,
Okay.
many emails, yep,
Okay, and this is the direction she told you to go in?
yep. I think Eric and her talked, because I was in the middle of the variance process. I was filling out the forms and gathering information, and then I talked to Eric Alderman, and then he talked to Juliana, and then all of a sudden the brakes were on the variance, and they said, we think you'd be better off with the rezone. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Eric fits in, except that he's an elected official, but yeah.
Well, I
mean,
just know
staff
Eric,
would be-
so that's why I reached out to him, and he lives on Western Avenue.
Sure.
And to kind of answer some questions, and
Sure.
so that's kind of, we got Eric involved, and then he kind of continued to be involved and went straight to Juliana for us.
Sure, sure. Well, I remember having some discussion with Eric too, but not in this detail, for sure. I have to tell you, I'm in a position where what we're seeing with what we have tonight, rezoning to Ag 1 would not help you because you have to have a primary residence on that property to put an accessory building on there. That's what we're seeing.
Right.
And so-
Zoning would be more up on that, right? I mean, they would know that, right?
Juliana would know that. You're right. We would hope that she would know that. She's new to the job too, though, within the last few months, but
Well, Mayor, can I ask a question?
yeah, go ahead.
We have it zoned R1 because it must be kind of reflective of what we have in our comp plan. And I'm trying to go from memory, the motifs, I think when we created that TIF 4, we might have had conversations with you during that process or right after. And that's why we kind of built the, potential to have a road in here, because I'm kind of pulling back some discussions that maybe, this was over 10 years ago, folks, or maybe 15, that at that time, well, maybe residential made sense to you. And I think that's why we're here at residential, because you are abutting residential areas. But how do we make this happen in an R1 district? Because the variance, they could file a conditional use permit, couldn't they? To do what they want to do in the R1 district. We can put some stipulations on it and they get what they need and then we can proceed on. And maybe because they were given guidance to go with the rezoning, the cost of that rezoning, just waive the fee on the conditional use permit process cost. So they're not being penalized by something that maybe they were given direction to do or suggested to do.
Yeah,
And can we get that conditional use permit managed quickly for them?
One thing to note is, still by standard, there would need to be a principal's primary structure.
Still with the R1, but the fact that it's a removable structure, and I think in the description they talked about taking it off the land every season, that's kind of an unusual use of an accessory structure. Most of the time you put accessory structure up, it stays. So I'm wondering if there's some, some angle, for lack of a better word, where we can feel, we can honor their request, but we haven't, compromised future, decisions, in a similar situation.
well, yeah, thanks, Henry. I appreciate that. I think we go back to the same thing, and they have indicated, the owners, Steve and Julia, have indicated that, they're okay if it stays residential. I mean, I think our biggest concern was we didn't want to take something that's residential and turn it into agricultural, knowing that
Yeah.
someday there'll probably be residents on that property. And so, how about, let me ask you a question about this little field that you want to put for product and stuff like that. How many acres do you think that would take up?
Be a couple different areas, probably total 2 or 3 acres.
Total?
Yeah.
So nobody would even hardly notice it.
Nobody's gonna see anything.
Right,
Those
Not
are,
a
those
thing.
are 2 gardens.
yeah. Would you put fences up?
Well, we'd have to put up some for the deer and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
What deer?
Fences are already there, but they're in disrepair. I've been taking them down, the old fences.
Yeah. So page 35 of the packet, I believe Juliana put this together about the rezone to A1. And it talks about how it does not align with our future land use map, and we went through that last month with the previous item and basically shot that one down because it did not align with our future land use, and this feels to be the same way. So if we did do with this, we'd be setting a precedence again and have to go through the future land use map amendment and go through council and all that thing. So I mean, I guess the item is to rezone, and I don't feel like that's the appropriate way to go about getting what you want. I think it's more of going back and figuring out if that structure works within R1 in that process.
So they have a building that's of disrepair that's on there, right? And you're going to, if you're allowed to put this shed that you purchased on there, you're gonna get rid of that other one.
Yeah.
I mean, like, right away
Yep.
type thing?
Yep.
So I'm kind of working that angle there where if we could do a conditional use or just a permit to allow for a portable shed on that property, but they also agree to tear down the shed that's in disrepair. I'm just,
Would that be something more larger scale? More, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, across the board.
yeah, I mean,
Not
it would be a
specific.
handshake.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be a, it probably would, we wouldn't probably spend lawyers' fees on this part of it, but I think we could, I mean, like Henry, I think Henry hit it on the spot there and Justin together when this is not a permanent structure there. They plan on taking that structure off there.
It's delivered on a trailer. It can be slid back up on a trailer and off it goes.
Yeah. Mayor, can I follow up with your question, another question?
Yeah, absolutely, Henry.
The building that would be torn down, how many square foot is that?
You know how many square foots that,
No, I'm gonna guess it's maybe 12 by 14 or something like that.
Okay. So it's a similar size. It's not much larger.
It's similar.
Yeah, okay.
they already have one, they have two permanent on there, right? You have two right now that are permanent, and you'd be tearing down one.
Yep.
Okay, and so that one that's on there is, must be grandfathered in, because there isn't a permanent residence on it.
Right.
So it was there, well,
Prior.
we won't worry about, we won't worry about how it got there, but, so we're only talking about the one building that if we could get that building torn down and you could bring it on a building that could be removed and look a lot nicer, and the rest of the neighborhood wouldn't even notice that you had two little gardens there. And we could keep it as residential, which is what we want to do as a planning commission. Right? And I think we could just probably do this through permitting. We don't even have to do a conditional use. We could just have them get a permit for this temporary building, we could call it. Right? Right, Josh?
Putting me on the spot now. You know, and to your point, Mayor, I do think that it's clear that there's some areas that we maybe do want to look at to maybe define a little better. Regarding, and Justin, I don't know if you have it up, but is there a definition on temporary structure? Not to play devil's advocate, but trying to make sure
There
that
is.
everything
There is.
And so,
You want to read it?
yeah, if you could, sorry.
The intent, temporary structures and uses are those that have the potential to create unwanted impacts on nearby properties if allowed to develop simply under the general requirements of this chapter. All temporary structures and uses are required to meet certain procedural requirements in addition to the general requirements of this chapter and the requirements of the zoning district which the subject property is located. General regulations for temporary structures. Portable storage facilities as defined in this chapter are prohibited. other than as specifically allowed in subsection B. B, no permit is required for temporary buildings, trailers, or equipment necessary for construction purposes and for temporary storage of building materials and equipment for a period not to exceed the duration of such construction, provided a building permit has been issued for a permanent structure and that such temporary structure are not used for living purposes. General regulations for temporary uses, any temporary structure required for a temporary use shall comply with the requirements of subsection 2 and above. Temporary uses such as food sales, nursery and agricultural stock, carnivals, or outdoor commercial events may be permitted in business districts. Temporary uses such as Christmas tree sales and real estate field offices may be permitted in business districts. The total duration of temporary use permitted annually within a development area is limited to 8 weeks for the purpose of this section. Development area is defined to include all lots, outlots, parcels under common ownership which make up a recognizable extent of the development site as determined by the zoning administrator.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt you, but I'll let you take a breather for a second. The maximum day allowance? Is there
Well, you said 8 weeks.
8
but
weeks.
yeah.
Permit required. Temporary structure use permit is required for all temporary structures to be erected for a period of 15 to 180 cumulative days during a calendar year.
Well,
Now,
that's vague.
not to interject, Mr. Mayor, but is that something that maybe could be discussed to adjust that?
Well, it certainly could, but you just said 15 to 180.
Yeah.
Oh, 15 to 180.
15.
I thought that was cumulative throughout the entire year. Is there, but it was 8 weeks.
1,580 days. Where did I read 8 weeks? I gotta go back up.
Just a little, yeah, it was just a paragraph above.
Total duration of temporary uses permitted annually within a development area is limited to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
That's a little different.
yeah, that's different, yeah. But I think we can do that. I mean, the planning commission and the city, of course, like I said before, would prefer to see that property continue to be residential. And
Mine
so
was.
if we can do that and your building will be temporary, then we don't have to worry about the whole thing with agriculture, and if you sell it, somebody comes in with feeder pigs, like your grandfather was, and we wouldn't have that concern then. How do we move forward now? I think, again, it sounds like we can do the temporary under a permit basis. So they would just have to get a permit to be able to put that temporary structure on there. And I'll take your word at it that you agreed that you'll tear down that
I'd gladly send you
the building that
pictures.
you said that was ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then really, there isn't any action that planning commission has to do tonight. You would just have to get that temporary building, or that temporary permit, and you'd have to get that from, the community development office, so you could stop in there and get that. They're not open now, of course, but they're open from 7:30 to 4 every day, Monday through Friday. So you could stop in tomorrow if you want and get that permit. I'm sorry if that's making you a little extra work, but I think it's actually giving you less work by doing it this way.
Absolutely.
So,
Mayor? Mayor?
well, Josh will make sure that they know.
They'll know.
Yeah.
I'll convey the message.
Yeah.
and-
Henry, go ahead.
I don't know if there's any appetite on the plan commission to do this, but we have some new staff and they were, kind of guided through the process we're dealing with now. Is there some way, what is the permit fee for the, it's probably $25, right? Something like that. Is there any, I don't know. It's a small gesture to tell the applicants, we apologize if there's been some, maybe a misinterpretation or a misthought about how to go about this. because it is such an unusual, sort of request.
Yeah, the mayor or the city administrator has the right to waive that
Okay.
fee, so we could talk about that, yeah.
Now, I'll leave that to you. And then the only other question, because I don't want us to run too afoul, the 150 days is 5 months. I think Josh was alluding to maybe down the road over the winter, maybe we could look at that. I don't know if 150 days, they just would have to comply with it. We don't make any changes, but knowing the growing season, maybe that has to be 180 days.
It is 180, Henry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 150. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
180.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. All right.
perfect. You changed it already. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Go ahead, Steve.
On the fees, I would gladly pay the new fee if I could get the $300 or $400 for the zoning change.
You will.
Okay.
You'll get that back.
That I'll gladly pay the fees for whatever we're doing
Yeah,
here.
yeah. You'll get that back, then you'll owe us 400. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. You'll get that back. I think this is the best route.
Absolutely.
I apologize that you had to be here tonight, and we all seem a little confused, but I think sometimes working through things works out for the best. So
Absolutely.
I think that works out for us. So thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you all.
Yep. Have a great night. All right, let's go back to our agenda. This is for a certified survey map of parcel.
Do we have to take action on that item?
No, well, I guess it's on here, so if we could just say that there's no action, yeah, just rescind this action item. You want to do that? Anybody want to make a motion to rescind this request?
I'll make a motion to rescind the request from the motifs for the rezoning of the property of what we know at like south of Western Avenue.
All right, thank you, Angela. Who's got the second? I'm
I'll
sorry.
second it.
Second by Gusky, that we rescind this motion, or this action item. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Against, say no. Sorry, I did that pretty fast. Motion carried. All right, let's go to the Russ Young property. There's a certified survey map that needs to be taken care of there. And Josh, I'll turn that over to you too.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Yep, so we have here a certified survey map on behalf of the Russ Young Property LLC to split an existing 11.875 acre parcel into 2 lots. The property located on Charles Wright Drive and the unfinished street Duck Lake Drive has no assigned address. The property is currently not serviced by municipal utilities on Duck Lake Drive, while a new development on Charles Wright Drive will be able to connect to municipal utilities. The current zoning of the parcel is R3 multifamily residential district. The proposed split meets the R3 district standard, requiring a minimum area of 5,000 square feet per lot and a minimum 66 feet of road frontage per lot. The proposed property division will facilitate the development of Lot 1 with the anticipated submission of a condo plat for construction of a single-family home and a condo plat later this year. If the Plan Commission recommends a submitted CSM to the City Council for approval, the Community and Economic Development Department recommends placing the following conditions. Municipal utility extension to Lot 2 is required prior to the construction. The property owner shall obtain all necessary zoning and building permits prior to commencing construction or alterations. And then the applicant shall record the City Council approved certified survey map with the Waupaca County Register of Deeds office within 30 days of City Council approval.
Okay. You can, Josh just popped it up there. You guys all know where this Russ Young property is. It's almost right in the same place that we were talking about with the motifs. They're just extending and trying to finish off their property there. Josh, do you know if, did Juliana get an answer on what they plan on doing with the city's right-of-way that, are they gonna continue to build, or is that, I need to ask Juliana.
Barb's here.
Oh, Barb, yeah, I'm sorry.
She left the crowd.
557 Hart Court.
Pull the microphone down, Barb, will you? Pull the microphone. You're not as tall as the last person.
I have approximately 12 acres of undeveloped land there. And the parcel that we're trying to have partitioned off right now has direct access to city sewer and water, which means that we can construct something right away. The rest has to be developed. So what we'd like to do is start there. We refer to it as Phase 1, and then eventually, maybe next year, go a little bit further and do another parcel. It's too expensive to run the infrastructure all the way through. There's, like I said, 12 acres. About 7 acres is buildable. So it's just going to be a lot more cost-effective for us to do it this way. And the second phase, we plan on putting 5 condo homes, somewhat like we did on Hart Court, if you're familiar with that. It'll be very similar to that. So that's our goal, our game plan.
So you pretty much are gonna use up all buildable land
That's our game plan,
yeah,
yes.
good for you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
tried.
thank you.
It's fun.
That's awesome.
So is this the area where the signs, black and white signs that say future condominiums, that kind of?
Yeah, that's
arch?
where the lot is that we're trying to get parcel off
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
And you'll notice there's like a little temporary road. It's called Duck Lake Road. It would have to be widened, of course, at some point as it goes into the rest of the 12-acre parcel. But it's to the south of that easement there. And once again, having direct access to city sewer and water makes it more feasible for us to get started. And we have buyers for 2 of those units. So I think it's going to be something that goes along quite quickly.
Nice. Are you, how quickly do you think you're gonna do your Phase 1? I mean, is that
Well,
starting?
we'll start in the spring. It's a little bit late now because we have to go to council yet. And I don't like, construction. My partner and I just think that spring would be the best time. And we'll do all 3 units. The duplex, it'll be a small condominium project, and the house, which will also be a condominium.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have had the chance to look into any of the buildings that they've done, but they are very nice buildings.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you live back there? Those are sweet.
Thank you. Yeah.
That one, that
We
green one
put
on the
we
corner
put
is-
5
wanna buy one?
houses there.
I was
Well, we
I'm
started
getting
out
there.
with 5
I'm
houses,
on
and
the
one of them
edge.
was mine, and 5 customers all at once, and myself being my worst customer. It was really pretty much stressful, but we just put the 6th one in, and we just finished it a week ago. So we're done with Hart Court. But that seems to be the market, is the condo houses. Waupaca doesn't have a lot of condos. There's some, but not enough, and I think we can fulfill that market. We keep going, so.
This has nothing to do with your request, but do you have a condo association then, too?
We
An active
do.
condo?
But this is a little bit different than your standard.
Okay,
Everybody takes care of their own home as far as maintenance. The association is formed to take care of snow plowing, lawn care, cleaning of the gutters, anything on the exterior. People are fine with that, and they're maintenance-free homes, so, the chances of something going awry maintenance-wise, probably within, 10, 15 years, it's pretty small. Then we don't have to collect for deferred,
sure,
for replacing the roof, replacing siding, whatever.
yeah,
And it keeps the fees down.
right.
And they still have that single-family feeling, but yet everything's taken care of for them. And I think that's why they sold as quickly as they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Anybody else? Comments?
Looks good to me.
All right, we would need a motion to approve the certified survey map then. Anybody?
I'll move to approve certified survey map for
I'll
West Young
second.
property.
Motion by Barron, second by Lesage, that we approve the certified survey map for the Russ Young properties. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Against, say no. Motion carried. All right, Barb, thank you. Appreciate it. We just got a couple of little items tonight yet here. So we have the reports and the development update. Did Julia fill you in much on any of this, or Josh?
Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff going on, just 1 or 2 projects. Should probably bring that back down. One thing to highlight is the Division Street apartments. They have not had final inspection yet. They were supposed to. There were just a couple of delays, so their hope is to have that in sometime early next week. So that's probably going to be one of the bigger things to note. Alliance will be, I think if I recall correctly, will be moving forward.
I'm unsure about that, but I would seem to think so.
That's what I was thinking. I'm trying to think. I did have
River North?
Yeah, so they did start working on the multi-family units, and they have poured, obviously, the basements for the 6 houses. We're obviously in constant communication with the developers to make sure that there is proper compliance and making sure we're all on the same page as we're moving forward with this large-standing project.
The apartments on Godfrey are in motion again. The footings are in.
Oh, they are. Oh, good. Good, good. Anybody else? Anything? Anything for the good of the meeting? Otherwise, we can make a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Gusky, second by Waller, that we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, say no. Motion carried. We're adjourned at 6:18 PM. Have a great night, everybody.